Hi, my name's Carla Brown. I've had a bit of a unique career because I originally started off as a microbiologist and I actually gained my PhD from University of Glasgow. But now I run a science media startup called Game Doctor, which focuses on the development of games and films to educate on microbiology and science. Quite interestingly, I don't have any formal entrepreneurial experience, but I've gained so much from just doing this company alone. When I was 4 or 5, I used to make perfume with my neighbour and we'd sell it to our mums and dads and our cousins, simply out of flowers and water. But I've always just had the feeling and the outlook that if you really want something, you should just go for it. You hear the word germ quite a lot, and if you actually Google that word, what you see is an alien, foreign creature thing. But they're not, they're absolutely fantastic, and most of them are really good for us. So I kind of wanted to disrupt the way that we communicate microbiology, and I wanted to use really modern technologies to do that. Game Doctor actually started in my flat in Glasgow with my best friend, who's now my business partner, Siam Colvine. So Siam has a background in fashion and she's also a designer. So we came together over the course of a few months and thought that we wanted to kind of disrupt and change the way that we educate on microbes. So we made a card game called Bacteria Combat, and we did this in our free time with no funding, literally just us two with our ideas. And it really progressed from there. So the first step was to make the card game, test the card game. We then learned from testing that we wanted an app to be made, so we secured funding for that. And I've just been growing as a game designer and a media producer since then, and now Game Doctor is what it is, which is really exciting. In 2016, I was approached by Dr. Sandra Hartman from Drexel University in Philadelphia. And she asked me to come and work as a postdoc and develop games for science. This was when the company was doing really well, but I thought, you know what, I will regret this for the rest of my life if I don't go. I went, it was great, we made a game on HIV, and I met lots of really amazing people. Having a company basically be silent for a year is never good. You come off really of social media, all the awards that you've won kind of become irrelevant, and I hate to say that, but they do. We live in a world where people like to see new things, new awards, new buzz all the time, and when you do go quiet, it's a detriment to your company. The really great thing about doing a PhD is it teaches you how to think like a designer. When you're setting up a new experiment for the first time, you have to plan the methodology, what you're going to use, the equipment, how it's going to run. And this kind of skill has really taught me how to design tons of things in life now. So I can now design projects, teams, budgets and strategies. I really recognise this trait in a lot of my friends that have done PhDs, and I think it's a great skill to have in any job that you go into. Starting a business and being a scientist is one of the most challenging things I've ever done. Business is not easy. You have to think strategically, you have to think financially. In business, everything has to have a return. And I've been trying to teach myself how to think like that. To that end, I recently recruited a business coach who's based in Cheltenham, so she's really getting me to think about how to think strategically. I like new things, I love meeting new people, so really entrepreneurship is the best job for me and really a great career choice. However, it does get really stressful sometimes. I would say the important thing to implement is have a really strong business partner or a strong mentor that you can talk to when you're feeling really stressed. Rather than sell our games as products, we make games for researchers for a fee. This is really great, but unfortunately we have to align that with the budget that researchers have from their grants, which is really never a lot. And if you think about making a game, it requires developers, game designers, software engineers, sound producers. These guys all have to be paid, yet we really have to compromise when it comes to the budget. So going large scale for us is going to be a challenge. And to that end, what we're doing just now is the way that we are developing games is changing. So rather than offering clients completely unique products, we're basically making what you'd call a template that can be edited quite slightly for different games. So it's a much more sustainable model. The most useful advice I've been given is from 3 different individuals. People do not buy your product, they buy you. And to that end, every event, every client meeting, I turn up my best self. I dress well, I smile, and make them feel at home. Never give away all your secrets, always keep something back. And I think anyone out there that's got an idea understands exactly what that means. Get some business coaching. You're a scientist, you're not in business. get some professional development. And I think the key message is, if you have an idea and you want to start a company, just go for it. You can find those skills and expertise as you go along.